Our topic today, the 1986 Times signature. The untold story of Chernobyl, human failure, and the atmospheric trap that almost erased Moscow, the entire Eastern Bloc, and today's Russian Empire from existence. Paragraph 1. The merciless timing. The history of mankind often hangs by a single thread of mere hours. April 1986. When the reactor at Chernobyl explodes, no one in the distant Kremlin suspects that the Soviet Union has just entered a game of nuclear roulette. A roulette in which a minimally different timing would have sealed the physical end of the superpower, Moscow. It all began with a bureaucratic delay. Because Kyiv requested electricity, the planned safety test was postponed by 9 hours. The reactor sank into the so-called xenon pit, a physical instability where the isotope xenon-135 blocks the chain reaction like a neutron sponge. Paragraph 2. The physical forced pause. Had the night shift dutifully rejected the test, the decay of the xenon would have forced a shutdown of several days. The next test run would have inevitably fallen on April 29 or 30th. The explosion would have remained the same, but the weather would not. On the real April 26, the wind blew toward Scandinavia. Moscow was safe, but from April 28 onward, the atmospheric gear turned by 90 degrees. For exactly 96 hours, an invisible airlift stood wide open, straight from Chernobyl to Moscow. An accident on April 30 means, after just 18 hours of travel time, the highly radioactive explosion cloud arrives in Moscow. Paragraph 3. The trap on International Workers' Day. The invisible danger reaches Moscow precisely on the morning of May 1. Exactly when millions of people are standing unprotected on the streets for the traditional May Day parades. And in those exact hours, a heavy storm and rain front moved over Moscow. This rain would have heavily washed out the fallout directly over the megacity. The evacuation of 8 million people would have collapsed instantly. The administrative nerve center of the vast empire would have been irradiated and incapacitated at a single stroke. And phase 2 follows, the unstoppable China syndrome. Because the system collapses in the Moscow fallout, all remaining resources are panically diverted there. Paragraph 4. The alliance of brothers. The liquidators in Chernobyl fail to arrive. No one pumps out the water beneath the burning reactor. Yet in reality, on May 4, 3 men stepped into the absolute darkness. The Russian-born Boris Baranov and the Ukrainians Alexei Ananenko and Valeri Bespalov. In the knee-deep, highly radioactive water, they cast aside every national division. They acted as brothers. They found the valves and successfully pumped the water away. Had they failed, on Saturday, May 10, 1986, the 2,000-degree hot corium melt would have plunged into the basin. The result? A phreatish steam explosion of several megatons. Paragraph 5. The appeal to the present. It would have completely atomized all 4 reactors of Chernobyl. Independent of the ground wind, jet streams would have comprehensively irradiated western core Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, turning them into an uninhabitable death zone for centuries. That Russia, Ukraine, and the whole of Europe even exist in a habitable form today is the direct result of a historical miracle, saved by a lucky wind and the collective sacrifice of Ukrainians and Russians who fought as brothers in the moment of crisis. This knowledge is an unmistakable appeal to the present, in memory of the fallen heroes of the Soviet Union, Russians and Ukrainians.